Welcome to the face-off between Josh Kelly and former world champion Liam Smith ahead of their middleweight clash on the Anthony Joshua vs Daniel Dubois undercard on the 21st of September, live from Wembley Stadium.
I've got a massive point to prove to myself and the people around me. I haven't got a point to prove to Josh or anybody else. I get up for a fight every day of the week, especially in Wembley. I've done this all my life. It's in us. When it gets tough, when it gets nitty and gritty, obviously there's only one winner, and I think that's how the fight's got to go.
Josh, start with you first, mate. Fair to say, when you turned pro, you may have expected to have done a little bit more than you have at this point in your career so far?
Yes and no. I mean, I knew the problems behind closed doors, but it got to a point where it just all come on top at once. So, I mean, I was moving fast. I boxed Carl Frampton in my 6th fight. I won a Commonwealth title in my 7th fight. I was moving really fast, but everything happens for a reason. And like I says, I wasn't the most mature at the time. I'm mature now, so I feel as though now I've got my man's strength. I'm fully grown, so I'm ready to take this next step.
So fights are a lot of time are made. It's all about timing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think this is the right time?
It's the right time for me. I'm not saying, I've never said I'm trying to catch Liam when he's this and that and the other. It's the right time for me. I don't look at anyone like that. Do you know what I mean? I believe Liam's going to turn out the best version of himself on the night. Anyways, I feel as though people can turn back the time and get themselves into amazing shape. And it doesn't matter what age he is, doesn't matter what fights he's had, or what miles are being put on the clock. I believe when people want to get up for a fight, they get up for it. So 100%, I'm ready for this fight. It's just my time.
How do you see this fight as well, Liam? Because I mean, you've been at the heights. You've been a world champion. You've fought guys like Canelo. Now you're fighting someone who's obviously not, no one's as recognisable as Canelo, but an opponent who's a good opponent, but maybe not quite the name that you've been used to fighting. How do you feel about that?
Like I said, obviously I've known Josh a long time, and I think everyone in the UK have knew about him and knew about his abilities. So obviously I'm not stupid in that sense, obviously, and just I think again from maybe obviously Josh is never going to say it because he's not the type of person, and he's a fighter, he can't say it. But I think what you just said at the start, Carl, I think it is plain to see. Obviously, it's never been spoken about this fight, me and Josh. I think obviously you're a former fighter yourself. I think you know more than anything. Josh or maybe Josh's team are probably trying to get me at the right time. You know, obviously you know yourself, Carl. You look for names, you look for opponents at the right time, and obviously Adam Boots, trying to be a clever man. Obviously, you know, being out boxing himself, I think he'll probably think they're getting me at the right time, and they're looking for the name on the stage that gets Josh a big name, and they probably think it's
you're
me.
thinking that that's what they're thinking, that
Yeah,
you're maybe
on, like I said, for Josh to step up. Yeah, a million
That's a
percent.
mistake.
Yeah, you know, obviously that from my point of view, I'm gonna show it's a massive mistake from their behalf, whether it's Josh's team or it's Josh himself. But you know, Josh a fighter, he should be thinking, you know, if I turn out the best, I can beat anyone who's in front of me. But I just think there's a whole bigger picture around it. You know, all the methods of the 160. I was 154 2 years ago myself, Carl. I stepped up to fight Eubank, and there's not what I mean. It's not, you know, I'm just saying you're a big 154. You're probably not in world boxing. You know, you can understand yourself. You know, there's lumps at 154. Tim Zoo's massive, Charlo's massive. There's lumps at 154. You're going to 160 because you know I'm probably kind of only a 154 myself. Obviously, it's horses for courses, but I just think it all stems down to they probably think they're getting me at the right time, and again, that's the only thing that is a little bit, said before in the same type of interview, it's a bit frustrating on my behalf now. I'm obviously you're only known for your last fight, Carl. You know that yourself in boxing, and I've seen comments, you know, if Smith fit or if Smith turns up, and it's mad how much the last fights harm me a little bit because all of a sudden I've never been tarnished with that brush, and I've also never looked on my way out. How can I look on my way out from the first Eubank fight or before that? You know, Vargas, Fowler, but then all of a sudden now because of the last performance, it's like he's on his way out, and I can understand the questions, but again, it's a sore point for me.
Does that motivate you as well?
100%. Like I said, Carl, you've been around me a long time, and like I said, Josh knows what kind of family I'm from, and I told my brother he needed to retire, and I'm 100% sure they'd told me the same thing. And if I had a good camp and boxed okay and lost the way I did against Eubank, I would have retired in that ring the second the final bell went. I'd have done an announcement, I'm done. But obviously, I know everything that went on beforehand, I know the reasons behind it, and you know, regardless, like, I've never fought like that in my entire life. When was I ever, you know, I never even went out for my shield, if that makes sense. So, like I said, I've got a massive point to prove to myself and the people around me. I haven't got a point to prove to Josh or anybody else. I've got a point to prove to myself and the people around me.
Well, both of you are very different stages of your careers. You've been involved in the big world title fights before. You're hoping to get there. But after already having a defeat and a draw in your career, which you probably didn't expect, is this a must-win for you as well?
Every fight's a must-win, I think. Every fight's a must-win. I know it's the old saying, every fight's a must-win, but it is to get the next stage. It's a must-win for both of us, really. I never lump any pressure on myself because listen, you get one life, you get one walk through this life, so you got to take everything and enjoy everything for what it is. Enjoy all this, enjoy the experience at Wembley. I'm going to go in there and enjoy myself, but it's... I thought the Avenetian thing was a must-win at the time, and look where I am now off the back of that. So I'm not putting no pressure on myself. There's no pressure to be had, but I believe I'm in the right place at the right time.
And you mentioned Wembley there, and I'll ask both of you this question, but how big of an occasion, just to be part of an occasion like this, is that something that motivates you?
It's huge. You can't not motivate you, do you know what I mean? To go in front of, like Lee mentioned, the National Stadium, to box on there, can't not motivate you. There's going to be 90,000 people in there, probably, I don't know how many when we box, probably close to that, do you know what I mean? So can't not motivate you, I can't... like Liam said about me knowing his family, he knows where I've come from as well, my dad, my family and stuff like that, so we're a fighting family also, and obviously they're steeped in it, but I get up for a fight every day of the week, so especially in Wembley, do you know what I mean? I've done this all my life, I've been boxing since I've been 7, so it's in it, so I believe both of us are going to get up for the fight. It's going to be it's a pick and fight. It's one of them fights where everyone didn't expect it to happen, but now it's happening. It's probably one of the most thought about fights on the card.
And you've done it, like you've been involved in massive fights against big names, in big arenas as well, but is there just something extra special about Wembley?
Yeah, of course, obviously it's our National Stadium, obviously we know it's going to be full with the Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua event, so yeah, like I said, it's just one that I feel like, no matter how full it is, I feel like I've been there before. You know, I've done big arenas, I've done, you know, the biggest stage possible, so, you know, there's no chance of me, you know, rabbing under their lights type of stuff. For maybe the future, it's good to tell people, you know, like I said before, it's good for the CV, but for me now, like I said, probably Josh is trying to finish my career, and it's up to me not to do that.
You don't want to just have a fight at Wembley, you want to win a fight at Wembley?
Of course, 1,000,000%, yeah, I don't want to go out at Wembley. Like I said, going back to your must-win situation, it's a must-win for me, a loss I'm done. But I also feel it's a must-win for Josh, along the lines of, you've seen other people, I think Josh's big step up, David Avenetian, he lost, he's had a couple of years to rebuild. This is a big step up again. If you're lost now, you know yourself, obviously you know yourself, no one will pay attention, no one will think, he stepped up twice, he's lost twice. So I do feel it's a must-win for Josh. You're at 30, so you probably think, yeah, you can come again, but everything in a whole, yeah, I do think it's a must-win for Josh as well.
Would you agree with that? Like, I mean, imagine you've world title ambitions.
Would
you want to be a
with?
world champion.
Would you?
I think it's a must-win for both.
You've been around boxing, obviously. It's easier to talk to you than it is to talk to someone else, interviewers.
I think at the fights that you've been involved in, the stage of career you're at, you have to win. But I also think the same for you, because you've got a loss and a draw on your record. And if you want to get them lofty world title ambitions, I think you have to win this fight. But that's why it's a good fight.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
100%.
So, how do you see it playing out? What happens on fight night?
I can't see past the win, but stylistically, it's one of them fights where, as I said before, it's a pick and fight. He's the fighter and I'm the boxer, so all the generations and all the years of boxing, you've always had these stylistic matchups, do you know what I mean? So it's a great fight for everyone to watch. I think, like I said before, I think it'll steal the card. It'll be unbelievable fight. I think everybody will be waiting for this fight to happen.
Is it a long fight or is there a knockout on the cards?
I'm training for a 12-round fight, so I never look for knockouts. I never look to try and, if it comes, it comes. But yeah, that's my mindset. And
Liam, same question to you. Like, how do you see the fight
obviously
going?
I see, you know, obviously I think his abilities speak for itself. I think he's competitive with anyone, and I think he's flashy, very, very flashy. And I think he'd be tricky early on, but we've got 12 rounds for a reason. And I just think, obviously, maybe I don't know whether to look at it like, it's called Pretty Boy for a reason, you know what I mean? I just think...
I didn't give myself that name.
I just think, you know, I think when it gets tough, when it gets nitty and gritty, I think obviously there's only one winner, and I think that's how the fight's got to go on my part.
And the experience is on your side. Is
Yeah,
that,
of
do you
course.
think
Like I
that's
said,
going to play a big
I
part?
think a lot of, I think Josh will fight off nerves early on, twitchy and very flashy early on. But like I said, once the fight settles down, once we go 3-4, and the fight starts settling over longer periods, I think it then comes into a Liam Smith fight.
Let's put the cards on the table here. He's saying that you think that he's over the hill. Do you think that he's slightly over the hill?
I've never thought that, I've never thought that. I'll tell you what I thought about the Eubank fight. I thought, when I sat there and watched it ringside, I thought, something's going on with this kid. That's not him in the ring. Do you know what I mean? And I seen the first Eubank fight, so, and I know what you were like.
I think
when
that's just plain to see though. Like that's where like I don't really have to go into everything. Like what was forced on me, what was the date. I don't really have to, because I think everybody who's seen me, everyone who's seen me career knows when have I ever fought like that.
So that's why I never take them comments into. That's why I've never been one of them where I look at the comments, I think, yeah, he could be over the hill, this, that, and the other. I believe he's going to get himself up in the best. I said Adam, because we like I said, we've been trying to get this next big fight. So it was either a Eubank, a Ben, someone like this, and obviously Liam was in the mix. So Liam got passed by and we said, yeah, if the money's right, of course, we'll take the fight. Do you know what I mean? So it was never the fact that we're just chasing him because I think he's over the hill. Do you know what I mean? It's the fact that we want these big names.
Well, listen, it's clear to see that both of you are very confident. There seems to be a lot of respect between you as well. Do we get a handshake?
Of course, man, of course.
May the best man win. Wish you all the best, boys.
Thank you, bro.